You do your smile. You go. But what you want to do is do this. You want to like get your cheeks in it, but you take your mouth. You see how you do your mouth? You do your mouth. You can't do your mouth makes it look fake.
What's up, good peoples? Welcome to a Relationship Thursday. We hope everybody's well. We're gonna give y'all a second to tune in this evening. We know we're coming on a little bit early this evening, but we decided yeah, we actually early.
When do we ever do that?
Yeah, we actually early today.
Hey, we early.
Yeah, we early.
You know why we early? Right, that's so bad. We early tonight because we got a movie. We going to the movies. So we're motivated. We got to get out. We got to do these early tonight. Why do you have this like this? You know,
we had this last week, bro.
Gosh.
All right, it's perfectly fine. You're about to jack it up.
No, I'm not.
What's up, 529? Yeah, we early today.
We early because we got a movie. We got a movie date night on a Thursday.
Yeah.
How about that? And you know it don't make no sense when black folks, we early because we want to get to the movies. Any other time, we can't even get up in this joint on time.
What's up, Tisha Levon?
We be telling folks 9 o'clock, and y'all be coming on talking about it's 9:05, it's 9:10, hello. Then I get on, I'll be like 9-ish. Yeah. 9-ish. We early tonight because we're trying to go to the movies. I see you, Kevin Cooper from Portland, Oregon. I see you representing Oregon. Oregon, wow. And I see Tamika in the house. Hey, girl.
Hey, YouTube, let us know where y'all coming in from.
I see you. And my girl, Tisha Levon Jenkins, always representing. Yes, you are. Danielle, I see you, Danielle. I see you. Thank you, T. We're going to have a great day night. You got to get it in where you can fit it in.
Absolutely.
It's Thursday. We get it in where we can fit it in. What are we going to see?
We're going to see Hijack, y'all. The new movie by, is it Hijack?
No, I don't remember that.
No, it's Traffic. Yeah, we're going to see Traffic. That's what we're going to see. The movie with Omar Epps and what's her name? Paula Patton.
I don't know.
Yeah, we want to see.
Loud, ain't it?
I don't think it's loud. Let us know if y'all can hear us. Okay.
Isn't that music kind of loud?
Hey, let us know if y'all can hear us.
What's up, Cassandra? Cassandra's representing Georgia. Cassandra, what part of Georgia are you representing? My girl Shay. I see you, sis. What's going on? All my art of overcoming people, y'all. I've been overcoming. Hallelujah. I've been overcoming in my life lately. And I got to get back on the art of overcoming. And we got to have
bumping right now.
Some conversations. Yes, I'm coming to y'all real soon. Mandy, I see you representing the VA, and let's go ahead and get started.
Hold on. You can get started.
Let's get started. Yeah. Okay, so my name, it's still too loud.
They said that they can hear us.
I know, but it just is like, it's all in my ear.
Yeah. Tamika said I can hear y'all clear.
So my name is Iana Ma'ad. What's up, Antoinette Joy? I see you watching, and this is my fabulous, my phenomenal, my amazing, my awesome, my everything, my husband, my boo thing, my boy, my homie, my
all of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I was flowing.
Yeah, you was. Baby.
I was flowing. I was a rapper. Anyway, this is my man. We are therapists, and we are married, and we have been together for 23 years, married for 15, but about to be 16 come next month. 5 beautiful children. And yes, we're trained to work with couples. We're trying to do therapy. We love it. We enjoy it. We feel that it's the call on our life, and we feel it's our purpose. And it gives to us in so many ways. But the major thing that we think really helps us in doing our work is the fact that we walk in this thing every day. Every day we walk in this thing called married life. And so we come to you, you know, just keeping it 100 about our challenges and about the things that we have, you know, navigated along the way. And we want to keep it 100 about the beauty and the bliss and all of the wonderful things that are available to you, just like they're available to us if we just stop playing and start pushing. So, baby, what are we talking about tonight?
Antoinette, she said that she zoomed home for tonight's session.
Oh,
you know, she zoomed home, and we early, y'all.
All right.
I mean, we're actually early. So you zoomed home, and we really appreciate that. We're going to definitely get it in this evening.
That's what's up.
And we're going to do it quickly because we got this movie that we're trying to get to.
So I just want to shout out Multi-Shell. You always are showing up from South Carolina representing. And Bryant, what's up? What's up? You are representing Chicago, Chi-Town. Raleigh, North Carolina is being represented by 36 Soybean. And T, yeah, just go ahead and make sure hubby watches the replay. Okay, make sure he watches the replay. Okay.
Now, what we want y'all to do is to please go ahead and share this video. You know, you all have seen our videos in the past, and hopefully you've gotten some good information from them. So we're asking that you please share, because not only will you benefit from what we're going to be sharing this evening. Yeah, go ahead and share. You know, maybe there's somebody on your timeline that could possibly benefit as well. So please, 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 please share, y'all. All right, y'all. So today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic. And, you know, this topic right here is one, normally we would do a question, but we're not going to answer a question for the sake of time. But this topic right here is a really interesting one, because we're going to be talking about that C word in relationships.
What?
That C word, y'all. And a lot of people struggle with this word. A lot of people have issues, challenges, and aren't willing to do it, don't understand why they need to do it, feel like their partner needs to do it way more than what they're currently doing. And that C word is compromise.
Yes.
Compromise, y'all. Let us know if this is an area that you've had or are currently having challenges in your relationship.
I just want to know, have you had a challenge? If you've had a challenge, just put hashtag challenge right there. If you had a challenge when it comes to compromise, you want your way, you think your way is the only way, it's your way or the highway. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's your boo. They think that they got the only proper perspective in town, and you trying to help them to understand, my brother, my sister, it's not just what you see. It's not just what you see. So if you've had an issue in your relationship along the way around compromising, this is the live stream for you. Challenge. Okay, I see some hashtag challenge coming on through. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started again. If you are listening, we want you to share. We want you to put it on your page. We want to share the love, and we appreciate those of you who take the time to just quickly click share and put it out there so that others can join in. And then if you're really serious, I always tell folks, even though like I'm one of the people, and people give me instructions when I'm like at a workshop or, you know what I'm saying, whatever, even sometimes when I'm at church, you know what I'm saying, it's bad. You know, my pastor, you know, he'd be like, so look over and say, or Anika would be like, tell you, you know, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I don't want to tell him. Just keep giving me what I need to know. I don't follow instructions all the time like I need to, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. So I'm going to humbly suggest to you that you get a piece of paper, even if it's just a sticky note or the back of an envelope, right? Whatever comes to you and it really sits with you, write it down, because you will not capture it in the same way when you don't write it. So write it down. All right, I see challenge coming up. Mary said challenge. Tamika said challenge. 529. Okay, so y'all understand about this whole challenge around compromising. So let's get started. My baby boo, you gonna get started?
Yeah. So before we get started, I think that it's important for us to establish what it means to,
did we say title?
Actually compromise. Yeah, I did say the title.
3?
No, 5. We're going to do 5.
Right, 5.
5 compromises that you should never make in your relationship. 5 relationship compromises that you should never make. Now, this one right here, again, it's going to be a touchy one, because when you put never into something, it's kind of provocative. So again, even though these are compromises that you should never make, there's some wiggle room in there, but I want you all to take this stuff to heart, because it is extremely important. So when we talk about compromise, according to dictionary.com, is an agreement or a settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions.
Hold up, what's the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words you said?
Each side, by each side making concessions.
That's a compromise.
By each side making concessions. And so what we're positing,
both of y'all,
what we're positing in this discussion this evening is that there are some things in which you should not be willing to make a concession. There's some areas in which you should not be willing to make a concession. Let me ask y'all this question. Can y'all think of some areas in which you feel like you should not be willing to make a concession?
Like you just like, there's no concession, there's no compromise, not doing it. I want to hear from it. Now, while y'all are...
And let's have some real talk. Let's be real up in here.
Yeah, while you're letting us know, again, drop some areas where you are not making a compromise. I shouldn't have to. I'm not going to. It kind of comes into my personal values as an individual, and I'm not going for it. While y'all are doing that, I want to go ahead and say, what's up, Regina? And I also want to say, hey, Yvonne. I
think we saw Duran. She hopped on here too. What's up, Duran?
All right. So we are going to listen for
religion.
Religion. Not going to make a compromise. See, when you just say a word like religion, I don't even know what that means. 36 soybean. I mean, what does that mean? You're not making a compromise in terms of what? Because I mean, that's just gets so sticky. It's so multi-layered.
Brian
this
said,
is in the way.
Brian said, I thought y'all had a movie to get to later. Y'all about to get deep.
You know what I'm saying? Look, we're going to look, Brian, keep us on schedule because, you know what I'm saying? I talk too much and he wants to have 25 points when it's only 5. So, you know, you got to keep us on schedule. Okay, Brendita said abuse of any kind. Yeah. Regina said outside relationships. Those are really good examples, really good examples where there's not going to be any compromise. Yeah. You're right. Like, I'm not having an open relationship like Monique and her man. You know what I'm saying? They got an open relationship. And some people are about that life. And other people are not. Yeah. Boo, 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 boo. No, we ain't about that. Mickey, that's a real, Jaisha, I want to say what you said, cheating. Jaisha said cheating is a place where we ain't making no compromises. Ain't gonna be no concessions. Mickey, yours is a little sticky. Mickey Chisholm says, my beliefs. Man, let me tell you something. We all have a lot of beliefs. And let me tell you something. You can believe things that are not true. And you can get really caught up into and stuck into your beliefs because that's what your mother told you, your grandmother told you. Maybe nobody told you. Maybe you just arrived there through your life experiences, but those beliefs are not necessarily supporting the way you're trying to go. You think they are, they're messing you up. You're holding on to the beliefs greater than you are holding on to your relationship. So it's sticky, but there are certain things, I will give it to you, Mickey, that you do definitely want to make sure that you hold on to. And integrity. Yeah, Tiffany, I'm with you on that. My integrity. I'm not compromising my integrity. So those are some good things that you all have thrown out there.
Yeah, and actually some of these things are on our lips.
Brian said emotional shutdown, no love being shown.
Yeah, I mean, that's real talk right there. So I see regular sex. That's another thing. All right, so let's go ahead and throw out our number 1.
Okay, get with it.
So number 1, y'all, one area in which you should not be willing to compromise is...
We got 5. That's it, just 5.
We got 5. So it's around the area of hiding aspects of yourself. So you don't want to find yourself in a relationship where you can't be your most authentic self, where you feel like you need to hide who you truly are, where you feel like you can't show up, show out, and show the person that you're destined to be because your partner is unwilling to receive. So if you feel like you got to shrink in your relationship, if you feel like you need to hide and really not expose who you truly are, who you are at your most authentic self at your core, that's something that you shouldn't be willing to compromise on. Yes, you may shift, you may move, you may try to negotiate. You may not always necessarily be out front and open and clear about or just standing boldly in who you are, because it's a process, y'all. It's a process for us to get to a space where we're confidently standing in who we actually and authentically are. But again, if you find yourself hiding that, suppressing that, and you're doing it intentionally for the sake of the relationship, that's an area that you do not want to compromise in, because you're sacrificing self, you're sacrificing your soul, you're sacrificing your spirit, and you're doing it under the guise of for the betterment of the relationship. But no, you need to bring your best self to the relationship. And when you don't do that, it hinders the relationship from growth.
So I got a good example. This kind of goes along with, who said religion? Soybean said religion. So early on in our relationship, yes, Jay, you should dim in my light to let somebody shine. So early on in our relationship, and I don't even know if you know that.
Why can't we let this be? I mean, this is supposed to be one of our. So you go into like number 2. You want to move past the one that I just now said, or
I'm talking about hiding key aspects of who we are. I'm giving an example.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, is this what it is? Okay. So. Early on, I'll say this real quick because, I can be long-winded. So early on in our marriage, first of all, I was attracted to my husband and he was attracted to me for a number of reasons. But a big part of why I was attracted to him is because he was a big thinker. My parents are pastors. I grew up in the church. He opened my mind up to different traditions, different religions, different paths to the one God. And so I was, he shook me. He shook my foundation. But when I got still and I got settled and got centered, I was so much better and so much more full in terms of my perspective and my understanding of how the Creator shows up, okay? And in all people's lives, some of the ways that we experienced the church, he experienced the church, and particularly with Black folks, and thinking that there were some ways that some things were not helpful, that were focused on deficits and being sinful and all this versus focusing on the power that we have as people. And so we kind of pulled away from church. I was with my husband in like mind and spirit and everything, but I grew up in the church. You grew up in the church too. That's right. Let me put that out there. But for me, as I continued to come full circle, what I was able to do, particularly when, you know, I gotta shout out my church, Union Temple Baptist Church in DC. But as I continued to come full circle in what I was learning about who God was for me and for all people, and how God shows up in many different ways and through many different traditions and that kind of thing, I'm like, you know, I can be Black, and I can, you know, follow Jesus, and I can understand who I am in terms of my heritage, and I can pull in parts of the Black church who has sustained me and my people, and I can pull in the traditions of my ancestors and learn about that. I can combine all of that. And there was a struggle because early on, I think, you know, and I was young, I was trying to make sure that I was supportive of my husband. I also agree with what, you know, you believed and what we also believe, but I was feeling a pull. I was feeling a pull towards what was home for me and what felt good to me, and what spoke to me. And I wanted to blend all of these pieces of what it meant for me to be African and African American, for me to, you know, be in the Christian tradition and not totally identify, but be able to pull in different aspects of different traditions to get my spiritual sustenance. And my husband, he was just like, I ain't about that life. Yeah. He's like, I'm not about that Christian life because it's just too much mess over there when it comes to Black folks, right? So I found myself having to get to the place where, and I didn't realize it until later on after the fact, really, but I had to get to the place where I was able to assert for myself, this is how I see things. This is what I need. This is what I want for myself and what I want for my family. And just because I am in alignment with you, Black man, doesn't mean that I cannot honor all of what I believe, all of what is resonating with me in my path, right? So that is just one example of, you know, of how we, without even realizing it, sometimes because we're trying to be supportive of our partner, and also because we also feel where they are and we're with them, you know what I'm saying? We can start to, you're like, yeah, I get you, but I'm not all the way over there where you at. I ain't throwing the church out the window. I still want to be in it, and I want to be able to transform it, right? And so I think that through my courage and my ability to be able to tell him what's really real about how I felt and what I was experiencing, then you were able to have some things opened up in terms of your perspective, and you continue to do that. Am I speaking too much for you or what?
No, I mean, you're absolutely true. I mean, you are speaking a lot right now, but I'm just thinking about getting to the next point.
I'm going to say you are speaking a lot. I know. So many words to come out of my mouth.
So many.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just talk a lot.
Let's condense that thing.
Okay, but anyway, that was just an example. Let's move it on.
I mean, but you're accurate.
Number one. So don't hide. So number one was don't hide key aspects of who you are. That is a part of who I am. I'm all of these things. All of these things make up who I am in terms of my upbringing and the things that I've been exposed to. And so you cannot hide key aspects of who you are, because when you do that, you will start to feel resentful, and you will start to really bring your relationship down because you're not being completely fulfilled.
Yeah, and speaking about this topic around religion, one of our most popular videos is the one that we did where somebody wrote in asking a question.
Don't be blurry over here.
I'm a Christian. My man is a Muslim. You know, should we get married or can we get married?
Oh, yeah, Jonas.
Yeah, people are always making comments about that one. And just giving their feedback in terms of what they believe to be the most appropriate way to go. So religion definitely is a hot topic when it comes to relationships. All right, so number two, this one on you.
Oh, dang. Oh, sorry. Okay. Number two, what you should never compromise on. 2 words, y'all. Tolerating disrespect.
And some of y'all are
tolerating disrespect. And you know what? Some of y'all, you know, most of y'all probably like, oh yeah, we can't go for that. But you know what? I'm just going to be real. It's easier said than done for some people, because disrespect happens in a variety of ways. Disrespect is not just somebody calling you out your name. Disrespect is not, you know, for example, I can come up with all the examples tonight. Are you okay with that?
I mean,
I'm not going to take a long time. I'm talking about your disrespectful.
Oh, really?
so not tolerating disrespect. So stay with me. So you can't it's not just about, right, like somebody calling you out your name. My husband, for a variety of reasons, which he may or may not share, can get into a place where he is, you know, whether it's about things with the kid, usually it's with things with the kids.
Hey, thank you, Anika, for sharing.
Thank you, Anika. Certain things with within our relationship where he will make a decision and he will start to move ahead with whatever the decision is, or start to share things with our children and say this is what it is, and he doesn't even realize that he's actually undermining what I have said. He is, what's up, Damien? I see you. He's undermining what I said, the conversation I've had, and one thing about me is that I go out of my way to show respect for this Black man. I go out of my way to make sure that if the kids come to me or if anybody's talking to me, I'm like, well, let me check with my husband. Let me confer with him. What did your daddy say? We'll get back with you. That whole unified front thing, I'm all about that life. This man right here, for a variety of reasons. You know what I'm saying? He will just he'll just pass me. I'm like, whoa, where'd he go? And I'm stuck over in the corner looking like I'm the sixth child. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kid number 6. He done made the decision, and that's what it is. And so what I have said, you got to give me credit. You got to give me credit because I don't call. Sometimes a little bit I kind of slightly try to call you out, but in front of the kids. But most of the time I don't. You're just disrespectful. You know how much I make room for you and don't do that. And so I call him out on that every time. I say, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Leo. Do you understand who I am? Like I'm naturally and I have learned how to bring it back, and I get a formation for this man. And when you just move forward and do your thing, and the kids sometimes looking over like, oh, I guess it's what Baba said. You know what I'm saying? I got a problem with that. And I call him on the carpet every time. You are disrespecting me when you do that. I am not okay with that. I'm not tolerating that. Don't do that to me. And every time it happens, and it doesn't happen a lot, but because it's a part of his stuff he got to work on and work out, he can have that stuff pop out and doesn't know it. I've got to call him on it when it happens. So again, you cannot tolerate disrespect anyway. And don't think that disrespect is only somebody saying, you know what I'm saying, F you. You know what I'm saying? Or bitch. It's not just that. It happens in a lot of ways, and you got to be willing to say when you see it, so that people know, your spouse knows, hey, that is disrespectful to me, and I'm not okay with that.
And so just to add some additional clarification and maybe even qualify further my actions.
Are you trying to justify?
I'm not. My wife, she's extremely correct in what it is that she's saying. And she has called me to the carpet a number of times. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the ladies out here probably had to do the same thing as well. I'm going to say I'm a victim I'm a victim. And sometimes I intentionally buy into, and I subscribe, and I find myself in a space where I embrace certain aspects of patriarchy. And so as a result,
that's the truth.
To be truthful, I like what Brian Bro said. He said sometimes us kings can be kingy. And that's the truth of the matter. Sometimes I feel like what I say goes. The way I say it should be. And like my wife just mentioned, she a Leo, and so we bumped heads a number of occasions around stuff like this. But really, truth of the matter is that this is a partnership, y'all. It's a partnership, and so my wife's voice is just as valid, just as valuable, just as needed, and it should be just as respected as mine. And so I undermine her authority, and I disregard, diminish, and disrespect her when I don't lift her up and honor her as the queen that she is in our house. And so I definitely have to make sure that I keep myself in check when it comes to that area. What I also say to that is that, one thing we need to make sure that we're paying attention to is intergenerational transmissions of, again, intergenerational transmission of thoughts, ideas, behaviors.
Because all you doing is what your daddy did, your mommy did.
Picked up, from true. The people that you grew up with.
Yeah.
And so this stuff right here is nothing new. You repeat what you've seen. And so some of the stuff that you've seen is good, and some of the stuff that you've seen needs to be worked on. And so that's one area that I think I definitely need to work on.
I respect you, boo.
Okay.
I just want to shout out what T said. T said, I think, and she put many in all caps. T is watching us on YouTube. She said, I think many men embrace aspects of patriarchy. But get this, not only do many men embrace it, we women do too. We do. You know what I'm saying? We like, I like when you do that, but not that bullshit right there. You know what I'm saying? So we pick and choose. Okay. We pick and no. Patriarchy in and of itself is not okay, right? But but you're right, T. You're right.
So let me add an additional point to this.
Nothing with this stupid computer in the way.
Slide this down right there. Like
okay,
that.
all right.
One additional point that I want to make is that we talk about what did we say? We said tolerating disrespect. So how do you tolerate disrespect? Tolerating disrespect, essentially what that's speaking to is you normalizing disrespectful behavior in your home. And so what does normalization of disrespectful behavior look like? It could look like, he just in a bad mood. He's just being a man.
I hear that
she's
a lot.
She's on a cycle. You normalize the behavior and you make it seem to be like it's a routine thing, which then makes it okay because it's something that you've experienced repeatedly in a relationship. And no, just because you've experienced it repeatedly, it doesn't mean that you need to continue to do so. So you tolerate it when you say that this thing is okay, or you make excuses for him or for her, and you make it seem as though, hey, this is who he or she is, and this is who he or she is going to be. And so as a result, what is that thing that's flying around?
I was flying.
As a result,
you just see me looking up like, what is flying in here?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
so as a result, you don't say anything. But now you got to make sure you speak up, speak out, and make your voice heard when it comes to you not tolerating disrespect.
Yeah, Janet and Tamika both agree. We do what we see or saw growing up, and even when we know better, y'all, we know better, but we still do the same thing, and that's why we have to be willing to let our partners know, hey, you crossing the line right now, because a lot of times we're not aware that we're doing the things that we're doing.
So 36 Soybean, she said, I'm okay with my husband being the captain. Just don't let the ship sink.
I'm with you, Soybean. I'm with you. Yeah.
We got to watch our tongues, though. We really do.
Huh?
We got to watch our tongues.
What are you talking about?
Because even though we might be the captain, we can say some real disrespectful stuff that makes, your woman or even your man feel just small. And so even though you leading the ship and not letting it sink, you don't want to make your partner feel small.
That's right. Absolutely. And that's a responsibility that everybody has. If you're in leadership in any way, and the husband and the wife, both spouses should be in leadership in the home, you are responsible for the model that you set, for the way that you flow, for how you step in your kingdom, right? And if you cannot be responsible and take on all of the territory that comes with that, then you ain't ready for marriage. Yep. All right, let's move it on. Number 3, this is a very, very good one. Lean in, people. Lean in. This is an area that you should not compromise on. A lot of times people don't know about this until they up in the joint. Well, actually, that's not true. Most people know about it before they get married. You be trying to fake like you didn't know. But y'all know before y'all got married.
No, you might not know because there may be a belief and there may be a hope. There may be a hope that it's not what it actually is.
Well, they just in denial, but y'all like, what are they talking about? Yeah. Y'all in denial, but you know what it is because most people are not waiting until they get married to have sex. So what is it, baby? What is it?
So this area that you should not compromise on is sexual incompatibility.
Significant. Sexual incompatibility.
So what does this mean?
Woo-hoo.
What does this mean? And this right here is a touchy one, y'all. Because
this is a good one. I don't know why I don't know why I'm so giggly, but this is a good one.
Yeah, it's is anybody out there, and I'm assuming that everybody at some point in their life probably has been dissatisfied sexually. I'm not saying that it's with your current partner, with your spouse. I'm just saying somebody has experienced some sexual dissatisfaction. And so what we're saying right here is that you should not compromise on significant sexual dissatisfaction and make that become or allow that to become the norm in your relationship. To go through a relationship where there's significant sexual dissatisfaction, what that means is that you're not expressing what your desires, your wishes are as it pertains to sex. What that means is that you're not willing to be flexible and make room for your partner's desires and wishes when it comes to sex. These are key ingredients, y'all, to having a healthy and sexually fulfilling relationship. If you find yourself in a space where you can't speak up and speak out and talk about what it is that you want, how you want it, how you need it, how you crave it, how you like it and love it.
I'm getting into this.
Yeah. Then that's a problem. And if you don't have the capacity or the tolerance to sit and listen to your partner express how they need it, how they like it, how they love it, how they want it, then that's a problem.
Hornisha said, never again. Never again. That thing is serious, though. And we want you all to understand that when you hide important and established parts of your sexuality, like your sex drive, specific turn-ons, right? Your preferences, you know, some of your...
You like leaning on me extremely hard, like messing up the mic and everything.
My bad. Your beliefs, right? When you hide those aspects of yourself, then you are hiding who you are from your partner. Mm-hmm. And so not only do you not have the opportunity to get some of those needs met, but then you are not having the opportunity to connect in emotionally so that they can see all of you. And so when you realize that this incompatibility exists, it is important. I have to say that, you know, I've been known to, sometimes my husband and I have differed a little bit, but I have been known to say, like, okay, sex is important, but it's not the most important thing. Let's not, like, we can work on that. You all can, you know, you can go and get some, you know, there's sex therapy, right? And we work with couples around being able to open up that aspect of their relationship. And that is all true, but let me tell you something. It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. And so you really want to pay attention to that. And you want to make sure at the outset that you really have a good understanding of where your compatibility is. And I don't want to just talk about compatibility. I also want to say, are you compatible in terms of your mindset when it comes to sex? Because maybe you all are not lined up sexually, but if you're lined up in terms of your mindset, we both want to go and get some counseling around our sex. We both want to go, they have sex retreats. There are retreats out there that just help you all to be able to connect in sexually. You get homework for the evening and go home and go to your hotel, have sex a certain way, or do some kinds of initiatives or techniques and come back and discuss it, right? Like there's all kinds of things out here, but if you all are both on the same wavelength, then that's very good. And you have to make sure that you all have some level of compatibility, because it just makes it so difficult. At the end of the day, there's certain urges that we all have. There are certain needs that we all have. And so everybody can be working on the different aspects of their relationship. But when it comes to sex, look, how long am I not going to get some while we working on this thing? Ooh, 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 ooh. How long? You know what I'm saying? Not long. How long? Not long. Like that thing right there is a serious, serious issue. And so we've got to be honest about that. And we've got to make sure that we really pay attention to the compatibility. Sex is healing. Sex is spiritual. Sex is beautiful. Sex is wonderful. But you've got to have that compatibility. That's right. That's how you got here. It is a beautiful, magical experience when you have the right one. And the right one doesn't mean that you all totally match up on everything. It means that you all are like-minded and you want to grow your sex life. Realize that sex is a journey. It's not a destination. You understand? Me and my husband been married for coming on 16 years next month, right? And 23 years total. Dude, it's a journey. This brother takes me to places I'm like, dang, I ain't been here before. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pop it, Colin. Pop it. You know, and I'm not just saying, I'm serious. But that's because we're constantly trying to figure out ways to stay engaged with each other. We don't really got to figure it out because we just, you know, God bless us with that. We have that electricity. But it's a priority. It's a priority. You understand? And so that makes it all the more easy to be able to really do the things that we need to do so that we can continue to connect. So significant sexual incompatibility. You don't want to compromise there. You got to have some level of alignment. Alignment. And here we are. We're on number 4, but go ahead, baby.
I see a couple of questions over here. Teacher Levon, no, we have not.
What she said?
Asked, have you ever attended a marriage sexual retreat?
Well, I just want to know who's interested, because we can do one. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, I'm going to church on it. That's all good because God ordained it, right? Right? You married and God ordained it. Okay, so yes, it's a journey. That's right, Kaylin. It's a journey. All right. So number 4.
Brian, bro, he says men receiving sex from his queen is strength to fight temptation.
Oh, speak on that. Read that again so they heard that.
You know, I mean, if what he said is that men receiving sex from his queen is his strength to fight temptation.
I don't know how y'all
so like
feel
my
about
wife
that.
just mentioned a moment ago. I mean, again, he has a responsibility, but like my wife just mentioned a moment ago, you know, both men and women, they got urges. We have desires, and we're biologically wired to procreate, to get out here and to have, you know, an appetite that needs to be satisfied. And so, you know, one thing that I often tell men is that if he's full, it ain't no need for him to get another plate. And so, are you making sure that your man is full? Are you making sure that your man is full?
That's a little controversial. What do you mean am I making sure he's full? You know what I'm saying? If you're hungry, maybe some things you need to do so you can get fed.
Yeah. You need to work. You need to work. You need to work so you can eat.
I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You want to eat, you might put a little more work around his house with them damn dishes. And you might get fed a little bit more.
So just keep that in mind. I mean, both statements are true. You know, if he's full, he ain't going to be looking to get nothing else to eat. But, you know, if you're making sure you're handling your business, you can make sure she feeds you. So, again, everybody got to do their part.
All right, number 4, y'all. Number 4. So, another area that you do not, we're number 4. We're getting ready to get to number 5, and we're about to go to the movies. But number 4 is...
He ain't never full. He greedy.
He's greedy.
Insatiable.
Well, all right, Shakira. Okay. You just got a lot of work to put in, huh, my sister? So, look. Do not compromise when it comes to pursuing your dreams. This one makes me all warm and fuzzy and twinkly on the inside.
Tisha LaVon said it's 9:06. What time is your movie?
It said, Tisha LaVon, why you don't call us out like that? You know we be on CPT. Now we only about 10 minutes away from the movies driving. It's 9:06. Our movie's at what? 9:30. 9:30. Yeah. So we try to leave by 9:15. Keep us on track. I know some of y'all like, what the hell? What are y'all sitting on the damn live stream for? That's just how we get down. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge us. We working on it. Don't judge us. But let me get to the dreams. Okay. You cannot compromise on your dreams. There are things inside of you that God placed in you. I was just talking to my kids about this earlier tonight at the dinner table, and I was talking to them about purpose and destiny. And I heard earlier today on a video I was listening to on YouTube, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about the fact that everybody has a destiny. Now, everybody has different opinions on like purpose, destiny, whether that's real or not. But I really liked what he said. He said, everyone has a destiny. Your destiny is preordained by God. God already knows what he has for you. He has plans for you. He has things that he wants you to do and benefit from and give to the world, right? You are a manifestation of the creator. And so he already has these things. She already has these things for you, right? So destiny is preordained, but your purpose and figuring out your purpose, it is the transportation that will get you to your destiny. Everybody has a destiny, but everybody will not reach it. If you think about destiny as the destination that you're going to, because it's already preordained, God already knows what it is, and your purpose helps you to get there, then what you need to be figuring out in your life is, what is my purpose? What am I here for? How does God want to move through me and work through me? And so if you have a partner who is not really feeling that, they like, that's cute, but you don't need to be going back to school, because you don't need to be trying to figure out how to start a business, because we ain't got time for you to be talking about you going to try to make this type of thing happen and you want to explore this, because if that's what's happening, let me tell you something. That is poisonous. That's poisonous. You got to be around people, energy, places and things that lift you up, because it's hard to get to our purpose at times. It's hard to push forward and to fight fear and to fight confusion and try to really stay on the path to go where you're supposed to go. You can't have nobody sitting next to you supposed to call themselves your king or your queen talking about, that don't sound right to me. I don't think that can work. You cannot compromise on your dream. I do want to make a distinction here. We do have partners. There are certain partners. Usually you will have somebody who's more optimistic and someone who's more pessimistic. You'll have somebody who is more of a risk taker and the other person is a little more conservative. I'm not saying that, you need to be like, I'm done with you because you're too conservative and you just, pessimistic. No, both of you all have been pulled together to help each other grow and to challenge each other, right? So I'm not saying that. You are going to have, one person who's a little bit like, and another person who's ready to get out there. That's okay. But I'm saying people who are really knocking your stuff down, they don't want to hear from you, and they're just not being supportive. You cannot give up who you are.
Yeah.
You cannot give up your dreams and the things that you feel are important.
All right, so number 5, y'all. That's what my wife just mentioned is extremely important. But number 5,
like it's 9:10. We gotta get to the movies.
Is going to add some additional context to that. So number 5, one relationship compromise that you should never make is putting yourself over the family. Putting yourself over the family.
You can tell I didn't know he was gonna say what.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is you want to make sure that you're always prioritizing the fact that the family and the collective is bigger than just you. So you have a responsibility as a member, as a part of the whole, to do your part. But if you find, or your partner finds themselves in a space where they're prioritizing themselves and putting themselves over the family, and even if they're doing things to edify and to lift up the family, that's a good thing because it's family focused. But if you're doing something where you're exclusively focused on self and you're being selfish in a relationship, that's not a good look. What you want to make sure is that you're doing is that, and again, we spoke about this before, create some type of mission statement for your family. You want to make sure that you're putting the family first because it's bigger than what you're doing. It's bigger than what your partner doing. It's about the legacy that the both of you all are creating together.
Brian said y'all gonna miss the previews. Look, I be trying to get to the previews, Brian. My husband don't even want to see the previews. He don't want to see them.
I take away from my popcorn and food time. So again, y'all, so number 5, you don't want to compromise on the family vision, the family mission, the family goals. And you want to make sure that the both of you are aligned in terms of the direction that you were going.
And I want to say this. Sometimes people, our partners are ill or they are sick. And I'm talking about people like particularly around, I don't know why I feel led to say this. There must be somebody watching who needs to hear this. If your partner is dealing or struggling with addiction, then they are putting themselves over top of the family. You know what I'm saying? They're not tending to the family because addiction rules everything. You know what I'm saying? That heroin, the crack, the pills, whatever it is, that totally is, you know, taking the priority. And so you got to be able to make sure that you see it for what it is. I don't know who's supposed to hear that tonight. Boom, 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 because I feel it all in my spirit right now. But somebody's supposed to hear that. It may be alcohol. That's not the family. That you can't compromise there because they've got to get well. They've got to get well. And that means that you've got to be willing to surrender and let go so that they can get well. And perhaps you all will come back together. Perhaps you will not. But I'm saying that to whoever needed to hear that tonight. My God, somebody really needed to hear that because I feel it in my spirit. All right, guys. We hope that this has been of help to you. We really do. It's all over, y'all. We done. We done. We getting ready to go. It's up. We hope that you will make sure that you are doing everything in your power to not compromise or betray yourself. That you understand that to be in a relationship that is successful, that is fulfilling, means that you've got to be able to give to self. I like how my sister Iyanla Van Zandt says it. She says, look, whatever is in my cup, you know how we say, my cup overflows, but whatever's in my cup is for me, right? And whatever overflows, that's for you. But I can't give you what's in my cup. I got to be able to drink what's in my cup. You understand? And so you have to make sure that you guard with your life what's in your cup and recognize that sometimes your partner comes to drain it and they don't even know they're coming to drain it. You know, they don't. That's not the intention. But at the end of the day, you've got to make sure that you take care of yourself because if you do not, nobody else will. I see you, Crystal Jones. I just want to shout you out, my sister. Hey, hey, hey. We are done. We are over. Good night. Focusing on the thing that resonated with you the most this evening. We'll see you next Thursday.
And please share this video, y'all.
Share the video.
Share the video. And if you haven't gotten that free 7-part video series, you should see the link somewhere, whether it be on Facebook or on YouTube. And again, we'll see you all next Thursday. Smiley blessings. I will pray for you this evening, specifically. I saw your message, my sister. All right. Love you, Multi-Shell. I see you. T. See you. Bye. See y'all. Bye, Stephanie.